Welcome back. Now 6:42. So many analysts got it wrong, as they have done in the past. There was no red wave in the midterms this year. Democrats held on, at least in the Senate. And this weekend, Nevada and Arizona both declared a Democrat victorious in their races. That means the Democrats now have at least 50 seats and will continue to have the majority in the Senate. Joining us this morning, who, by the way, predicted this correct, is Abdul Hakim Shabazz, political expert. I'm going to toot your own horn because I know you weren't going to do it. First off, good morning to you.
Good morning, my friends. How's everything going this morning?
It's going well. The first question, the Senate, what happened? Republicans did not flip a single seat. Do you think it was issues, the candidates, something else?
The catchphrase of the day is, right now it's called candidate quality. This is a very nice, polite way of saying don't pick candidates who suck. So in other words, don't pick up Muhammad Oz, try to stay away from a Herschel Walker, even though that's still yet to be decided. But I think a lot of it boiled down to candidate quality. In fact, a lot of these candidates who lost were handpicked by Donald Trump. He beat their opponents in the primary. And while they may have been good primary candidates for a plurality of Republican voters, they just didn't quite cut it for a general election.
All right, you pull no punches. And you mention this person and these people. There's still one outstanding Senate race between Raphael Warnock, the Democrat, and Herschel Walker, the Republican. They will go to a runoff in December, as no one got 50%. So let's go ahead first, Abdul. Listen to each, and then we'll get your reaction on the other side.
Representing Washington or California, New York, not Georgia. And Georgia need a champion, and I'm that champion.
Herschel Walker has no vision for our state or for our country. Think about it. We've been running now for a little while. And he has yet to tell us what he actually wants to do.
All right. So the Democrats, as we mentioned, Abdul, already have control of the Senate. So does this race matter? Why or why not?
The race still matters. Number one, it's a U.S. Senate seat, and all U.S. Senate seats matter. That's kind of point number one. Point number two, I do think that for Democrats, it's a matter of having a little bit more control. As the President said the other day over the weekend in Thailand, 51 is always better than 50. For Republicans, on the other hand, it's sort of a last-ditch effort to in a way, to save Donald Trump's future. If Herschel Walker loses, then I don't see how the former president can really go forward, at least from an endorsement perspective. But I do think at the end of the day, this will probably help Raphael Warnock hurt the Republicans, because the Republicans are going to come out and say, hey, I'm voting for Herschel Walker only because we want Republicans to have a chance to keep in the Senate. That's not going to happen anymore. And so with all of Herschel Walker's issues and problems and sort of political swords of Damocles hanging over his head, I don't see how a lot of Republicans come out. But it still remains to be seen on December 6th.
All right, now to the House. Even though it's still too close to call, Republican Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, will he be able to basically, if he becomes Speaker, be able to have a mandate? They are leading right now by 8.
They are leading by 8. Democrats still have a path to victory. A lot of that goes through California, even though Democrats have more seats to pick up than Republicans do. I think Kevin McCarthy is in a very precarious position right now because he's got that House Republican Freedom Caucus that's going to demand things from him in order to get their support. And I'm not sure he can totally do that with such a close margin. So that'll be interesting to keep an eye on. I still think McCarthy will be Speaker, but not without having to jump through a whole lot of hoops.
All right, 2024, that's a long way away, but already Trump is attacking Ron DeSantis, a possible rival. DeSantis has not said anything back yet. What do you think happens there? And before we get into that, many supporters of Trump have actually done a sudden 180. Trump favorite, matter of fact, the paper, the New York Post, which is owned by right-wing Rupert Murdoch, did the unthinkable. They mocked him with this front page calling him, quote, Trumpty Dumpty, and then writing, Don, who could not build a wall, had a great fall. Can all the GOP men put the party back together again? I thought we had that, and there it is. What is your reaction to that as we take a look at it?
Well, like I say, success has many parents, failure is an orphan. So Donald Trump kind of failed during this midterm election, so he's technically a political orphan right now, or at least on the verge of becoming one. I do think Ron DeSantis will be a strong candidate if he decides to run for president. For the next 6 months, he's got to focus on being governor of Georgia, and then sort of halfway through next year, turn to his presidential pursuits. But I would not be surprised, however, that if Donald Trump decides to, quote unquote, leave the Republican Party and run as an independent, because that way they have to worry about losing a primary challenge. You can still take his Trump supporters with him and kind of sort of be a fly in the political ointment in 2024.
Oh, that could fracture the party. As usual, Abdul, that is, Hakim Shabazz, thanks for being here this morning. We do appreciate it and your insights.